Hey everyone, coming at you with another tea video today. This is a 2020 Yunnan sourcing Wild Tree Purple Moonlight White Tea Cake. Here are the leaves, just to give you a brief glimpse. Definitely a little darker. You can tell they've got some age on them. But still beautiful looking, like white tea tends to be. Let me show you it on the website real quick. So the options are a cake and a 25-gram sample. Today I just have a sample, so $13.50. Definitely a little pricey, but it looks really nice, and it definitely has an interesting story to it. But here's what the wrapping looks like. A pretty cool looking rat. There's the tea in its full cake form, and we should be expecting a golden looking liquid. But let me read this descriptor for this tea for you real quick. You can pause here and read it yourself, or you can skip ahead to where I brew the tea. Feel free. This is a unique tea to be sure. This is Wild Tree Purple varietal tea, Yi Sheng Cha, growing in Jingyu County. This tea grows wild and is only harvested in March. The tea is processed using the same technique used for Yu Guang Bei. Bay or by, I don't know. The tea wilts briefly before being put into the a long wind tunnel tube where the action of the air movement gradually halts the oxidation of the tea. The taste is something unique too. There's a lot of complexity with notes of fruit, flower, sugarcane, and a kind of bitterness that fades quickly. With even a few months of age, and bitterness will transform into fruit sweetness with a long-lasting aftertaste. The tea soup is yellow and is thick and soupy. They made, it's an April harvest from 2020. They made 60 kilos in total. So, pretty fair amount of this tea is out there. As always, tested for a bunch of pesticides. Yeah, sounds interesting though. Wild purple varietal. I'm not familiar with purple tea. I don't think I've really had it before. But as this is a white tea, I will be using this Yixing pot. This is my dedicated aged white tea one. Aged white tea so far is my favorite type of tea. Let me just open this bag. I'll get a quick dry scent profile on these leaves, because I do find it changes quite dramatically with a lot of teas once you wet them. It smells really nice. There's kind of a sweet fig or date-like scent to it, which is something I really love about aged white tea. That's probably my favorite flavor and scent that comes out. Is like a figgy, date-like, maybe even a little molassesy taste and smell. And then I'm getting a bit of an herbal scent, and that's all I get on the dry leaf scent for the most part. But it's very nice, very inviting. So let me just get my teaware heated up, and I will be brewing this at 190 for the wash. Alright, here's the wash. I actually decided to do 185 instead of 190, just to be on the safe side. I'll look at the wash, see how the leaves look, and maybe go up in temp after that. There's the tea. You can still tell it's the wash. The color hasn't fully opened yet, but it already looks pretty nice. There's the leaves. They're still a bit compressed, but I'll give you a quick smell profile. That wash was probably about 5 to 7 seconds. It smells fantastic. Has that sweet, I don't know, fig or date-like scent to it. I don't know. Maybe I need to try some figs and dates sometime soon to differentiate them. I feel like they're kind of similar to me. That's the predominant scent I get. A little bit of like a astringent plant-like scent to it, but not too much. It's barely there. That's like me nitpicking. And a little bit of like an herbal quality to it, but really smells fantastic. Alright, now this will be, I don't know, a 20 to 25 second steep, I think is what I'll go for here. Alright, here is that first steep. Got quite a bit more color on it now. Got a few leaves that came out in there, but no big deal. And as always with white tea, green tea, raw pour, I make sure to take the lid off, let the tea breathe a bit so it doesn't stay too hot. It is a little more delicate. Still the same great smell on it. There's the wash for you, just so you can see the difference. All right, this tea has a deep golden yellow color, looking very clear, no cloudiness, no haziness. Right, I just had to let it cool down a bit. Let's give this a little taste. Keep in mind, I did brew this at a pretty reasonably low temp, 185, so I'm not expecting, at least yet, any bitterness or astringency or tannins to be out. Hopefully it'll be majority sweetness as of right now. That is beautiful. That is stunning. Real nice, thick mouthfeel. Kind of coats the mouth, and there's like a very present natural sweetness that is kind of reminds me of like a fig jam almost. Super good. Kind of, once again, dates and figs. I don't really remember the difference, but for some reason I'm thinking of figs, so I'm going to say fig. But definitely has that vibe to it, kind of a molassesy, dried fig or dried date vibe going on. That's really all the flavor I get out of it as of right now, and then it has that thick mouthfeel, but it is very, very nice. That is like A plus. That's my, other than floral, that's my other number one top flavor profile I absolutely love. Let me do a second steep real quick. Alright, here is the second steep. Probably, once again, about 25 seconds or so. Definitely getting a little more color on it. Last I checked, the leaves were still not quite open. They were still a bit compressed. And they still are. But that's fine. Still smells great. Still, that hasn't changed, of course. Still that kind of fruity, molassesy, date, fig smell. I brewed this 5 degrees hotter, 190, 185 for the wash and for the first steep. Still looks beautiful, clear, crystal clear, no muddiness, very few specks. A little more specks in there. All right, let's give this second steep a taste. It's still fantastic. Still very coating of the mouth, not drying at all. Still nice and sweet, super inviting, super friendly tea. Very, very nice. A little bit more tannin is starting to come through, which in my opinion is more balancing. It's not a negative thing. It I don't know, adds something a little extra to the tea that balances the flavor and just makes it different but also good. I imagine this tea as I go will progress and change in a few ways. Excited to see how it will, but I very much enjoy this tea. I think for white teas, this is probably a new one that'll be in my top 3. Very figgy, jammy, sweet, very, very round, like coating mouthfeel that's like full-bodied. Real easy drinking. I could see drinking this any time of day, any time of year. If you're just wanting, maybe you have a little bit of a sweet tooth. It's not like overwhelmingly sweet, but for a tea and natural sweetness, it is definitely there. I like it very much. I imagine maybe some bitterness or more tannin might come out a little later into steeps. Below, I'll put my tasting notes, and I'll put how many steeps I get out of it. In the reviews for this one, someone said they were at 8 steeps. So yeah, we'll see. But I very much enjoy this tea. I would recommend getting a sample for sure. I will likely be buying a full tea cake. But I think that's all I have to say on it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more tea content. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Always up for some good talk about some tea. All right. See you.